my Virgo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your timeless romantic soulmate contract read. I am your reader, Mark Angelo, Lyons, Mal for short, professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle Production since 1998, author of Words of Grace from a Professional Witch, available on Kindle, links in the description box. Virgo sun sign conjunct Jupiter, second house, the Archangel of Lyons, Mark Angelo Lyons. But you can call me Mal. After some camera malfunctions, Virgo, I did your reading yesterday. My camera kicked out, did not get the end of it, so we are starting from scratch. I think that reading might have been mine, so hopefully I won't be in this one. Let's get down to business. We're doing a soul contract read. Twin flames and soulmates are the two most well-known forms of soul contracts. We are looking at soulmate. There are many videos in the description box below explaining the difference between a twin flame and a soulmate. A lot of the past definitions have become very toxic over the centuries, particularly maybe the past 50 years. They've gotten really nuts. So thanks to spiritual teacher and Hay House author Matt Kahn, he put forth a rather high vibrational fifth dimensional perspective of what twin flames and soulmates are. I as well have commented on the subject in a handful of videos, as well as a preface to the soulmate contract reads, all on YouTube, easy to look at. Should some of my terminology not fit with what you're used to hearing, you're able to look in on that if you want to check it out in the description box. I call this not just a soul contract read, I call it a three-laner, right? We're going to put the Virgo on this side. We're going to put the happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying, and potential soulmate contract partner over here. And then we will have a third lane in the center showing the state of the contract. I was raised by a teacher and a lawyer. I do know how to read a contract as a result, except, you know, when it goes a little Latin, you know, then I call in one of my lawyers to have a look-see-took-see. But soul contracts, for sure, I am skilled at, certainly doing my best to understand my own. That being said, it is a general read. Check what resonates, leave what doesn't. Only because this, if you're a Virgo sun like I am, Virgo power, but a different moon sign, check your moon sign, because the sun is going to process the information differently than the moon or the rising or the Venus for that matter. Otherwise, keep in mind this could also flip-flop back and forth. You might find yourself relating to energies on both sides of the table. That's absolutely possible, because soulmates often share common archetypal contracts and patterns within their own sacred contract. Read Sacred Contracts by Carolyn Mace. This is her archetype card deck. Studied it, love it, live it. Other than that, both feet on the floor. If you can, focus on your breath, if you will. I will do the same to get you the clarity, guidance, and grace about, well, I had a major download, 3 a.m., vision, whatever you want to call it, saying that, you know, people want their happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, you know, true love, romantic stuff, but they don't understand. That's part of the planetary healing and ascension. It's not just about them. There's a larger service to it. So that's why these reads, I just think, are very, very helpful and hopefully healing and giving you some clarity, guidance, and grace. All right, enough. All the decks that I read are always in the bottom of the description box. As well as in the description box, there is a video booking a reading with Mal. I send it to people when they ask, oh, how can I book a reading with you? I send them the video. I just watched it again myself. It's aging pretty well for a couple of months old. Let's just do this. Breathe. Yeah, I am in Virgo mode today. Mercury about to go direct, I think, tomorrow at the time of this recording in September 2021. So one more nice deep breath. As I call upon the collective pantheons of angels, archangels, goddesses, gods, ascended masters of soulmate contract law, specifically romantic soulmate contract law. Let's face it, the trickiest of them all. The higher selves of all involved in this contract, 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above, beloved goddess Kuan Yin, beautiful Archangel Michael, the pantheons of lovers. Please, it's a lot of pantheons for this one card, but please give me the 3 archetypal 8th chakra dynamics going on for the Virgo. Yeah, first for the Virgo, great. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. For the contract partner, understanding that with cross-watchers, even without cross-watchers, these roles can flip-flop and they might share them. And state of the contract, what is the 8th chakra dynamic lesson alchemy going on? In the center lane there, both of them together, sort of like the name of the chapter of the story. These are already in the title, so let's see how brave you are. Well, why wouldn't you be? The lover and the mentor, rock and roll. I have the lover archetype, not so much the mentor. Oh, and the goddess, and you're in the goddess chapter? Well, I think this is going to be, as the ancients used to say, a humdinger. Let's get up in this. The 8th chakra over the head really holds the lesson and affects all the chakras and energy systems below them, right? So again, we're going to just say for my sanity, this is the Virgo, but this may flip-flop. I'll probably refer to both sides doing that. The shadow and the light. The shadow is what you got to heal. It's a good way to look at it, right? The light is what you are shooting for. And in a soulmate contract, thanks to the quantum entanglement of soulmate contracts, known or unknown, when you heal you automatically holographically heal them, but don't get it twisted. You can't scrub yourself hard enough to get them to come faster. That's free will for you. So it's not a manipulation technique, it's a holographic grace. The shadow attribute of the lover. Obsessive passions that harm others, self-destructive devotion, not to mention keying people's cars, right? You know when the green-eyed monster possesses the lover archetype in the shadow, it's a nightmare. However, as toxic as the shadow is in any archetype, is as brilliant as the light. This is what you guys are shooting for. Great passion and devotion, unbridled appreciation, remember that word, Virgo, it's a good word for Virgo, appreciation of someone or something, including art, including the divine, including Terry Pratchett novels. I have a great passion and appreciation for them. Everything I really needed to learn about witchcraft I learned from Terry Pratchett. The turtle moves. This is science. This is a turtle. If you're not watching what we do in the shadows, well, what are you doing with your life? So very, very powerful here. The one, again, could be the Virgo, but the partner here, the mentor. Now, this is, by the way, the masculine family of archetype, even though there is a woman on here. Do you understand? Masculine, feminine. It's not about bodily gender, biological, by choice. You do you. The mentor is the wisdom family of archetypes. The shadow, inability to allow the student to move on to the role of master. I've been in that situation as the one who was being mentored, being held back, and it sucked. Imparting false information, that went down there too. They teach you stuff so that you won't proceed, so that you'll get it wrong, right? Nasty, right? Horrible, particularly when you place somebody's trust, you place your trust in them as a mentor. The light attribute, passing on wisdom and refining a student's character. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that this mentor is mentoring the lover, although I would certainly think the lover is very much digging the mentor here, but that might just be what they do, even if it's not in their job title. I love the picture. It's an older man, a sage, we'll just say, with a student, but instead of an arm, he's got a wing, right? So taking somebody under their wing. So if you know somebody, or you do that yourself, you take people under your wing, not all at once, one at a time, then that can certainly be there. So I like this dynamic so far. The state of the contract, another feminine family archetypes. You've got a masculine, a wisdom, and a feminine here. The lover is a masculine family of archetype because love is demonstrative. It's yang. It comes from the inside out in that sense. But the goddess archetype, the chapter of this, now the shadow attribute, exploitation of the female nature and form. So, exploitation takes a billion different forms, but when we're talking about the female nature, that's really speaking of the divine feminine energy. So there is a divine feminine energy, a supreme yin lesson going on here between the two of you, both of you dealing with this in some way, shape, or form. The light attribute, the feminine experience through wisdom, nature, life force, and sensuality. I mean, this is a deep dive here into some very, very high vibe energies here. Now, I will say, when I think of the archetype of the goddess, because this is part of learning archetypes, right? You can pick it out in certain people currently alive or in history. Marilyn Monroe, they called her the goddess, and then you look at the exploitation of it, you go, oh yeah, boy, was she ever exploited as a result of her goddess energy. But that was then and this is now. The goddess tide is on the rise if you haven't been watching what's going on planet Earth. Shall we? Let's throw some tarot here. 5 cards, element spread for the lover archetype, Daughters of the Moon Tarot. 5 cards, element spread for the mentor mythic tarot. We're going to get all 10 of them, 5 and 5, on the table first, and then we'll flip them over, both fire, then air. You'll see. Please take a nice deep breath. Wouldn't want you to not know what's going to happen next. We're Virgos. Breathe. As I call upon my goddesses of earth, the sign of Virgo and the powers of the north, please, element spread, fire, earth, air, water, spirit, for the lover archetype in this Virgo collective. Sun, moon, rising, Venus signs. Happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying, or soulmate contract, please. What is there? The lover's element of fire. What they yearn for, what they burn for, what their hearts desire in this soulmate contract. Nope, just one. It's not that humid in here, so I can wait. You want to put the right card in my hair. My hair in my hand, the lover archetype and their element of fire. Their element of earth, what do they have to fuel the fire, to manifest their heart's desire? Earth, to bring it into form. Their element of air, to breathe into the fire, right? Fire needs air. Air does not need fire. So what are they thinking about this? Their element of air. I could feel that wasn't right. Just leave it. If it was just one, I would have taken it. I have really fast reflexes, apparently, in this life. No memory for names, but boy, reflexes. Please, the element of air for the lover archetype in this soul contract. Thank you. What they're thinking about it. Element of water. What's the emotional aspect, the energy of motion within them, their feelings on this contract in this timeless read. And the card of spirit, the point of view, the voice of the soul who incarnated to play the role with this lover archetype in this soulmate contract. Boom. 5 more, and then we're done with tarot, and we will see what's going on. Breathe. Yeah, such a different vibe between the two of you. Here we go. As I call upon my gods of earth, the sign of Virgo, and powers of the north as well, please. 5 cards in clarity, element spread for the mentor, the one with the mentor archetype here in this Virgo collective. Sun, moon, rising, Venus sign, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract with this lover archetype. What is their element of fire? What they yearn for, what they burn for, what their hearts desire. Their element of earth, the fuel to feed the fire, to bring to life and form their heart's desire. That element of fire there with earth. Their element of air. What are they thinking? What are they feeding the fire in terms of element of air here? What are they thinking about this soul contract? Element of water. What are they feeling here? You know, is this emotional wisdom? What's going on here? Their element of water. How they're feeling about the contract, and the card of spirit. The element of spirit here, the point of view of the soul incarnated to play the role in this contract with the mentor archetype governing. Let's see. Element of fire. Well, very fiery. The lover archetype here has the card Pan in the Daughters of the Moon Tarot. Technically the Emperor, but also the amalgamation in there of the Hierophant. It's a feminist deck, so they're sparing on the masculine imagery, and I'm down with that. I'm totally okay with that. Fiona Morgan, bless her heart, bless her soul. So, you know, the Emperor, she wants some kind of control here. She wants something to build. She wants something stable. She wants all the kings of the tarot wrapped up in one package. Now, this can certainly refer to their own masculine energy, their own creativity, having control over their own lives, building their own kingdoms. And in a soulmate contract read, that would represent the divine masculine card. And here we have a masculine archetype. Dig it. Here, on the mentor side of thing, element of fire, we have the Sagittarius card, the Knight of Wands. Now, Sagittarius, I know people say he's the player of the tarot. Maybe, maybe not. I will say that ninth house energy, Sagittarius, whether this person has it or the lover archetype has it, I think in a read like this, it's immaterial, it's helpful. It might be a guiding point for some of you. But this is about freedom and expansion, ninth house stuff, spirituality, wanting to take the journey on the quest, right? But a quest of passion, a quest of fire, a quest for fire. Oh my God. 80s movie flashback. It was like really early 80s. Quest for Fire. It was the caveman movie. I always got it confused with Chariots of Fire. A quest for a chariot of fire. Oh, my family. There's so many accents and dialects in my family, this program did. Look, I love this. I love that you kind of both are wanting the same thing. Certainly, this has been called the Aries card, so there's a very fiery energy there anyway, but even if you want to look at it that way, about really taking this fire and being creative with it. You know, the Aries is cardinal fire. What's the element of earth? Well, we seem to be having fun with the major arcana. The lover archetype side has the High Priestess, a very virgin card. Now, virgin does not mean asexual. Nothing wrong with being asexual, mind you. You do you. But the Virgo means unowned. Virgin territory. Nobody owns it, right? Not just independent. The original meanings of words, I think, give much more insight into the tarot because those were usually the meanings of the words at the time that it was formed, created, right? So the High Priestess there, that idea of that purity, very Virgo, like this is now really feeling more like the Virgo on this side than this side, although mentors are a wisdom service archetype, which can be very Virgo. On this side, the mentors got the lovers. What they have is the power to make wise, loving, empowered decisions. Certainly, the card of the lovers is often about a choice, but a choice times 1,000, a life-changing decision, right? What's the difference between choice and decision? Voltage, right? Amperage. Like, how important is it to make a wise, third eye, loving, heart chakra, empowered throat chakra decision? That's why we have the three goddesses here, Hera, Athena, and Aphrodite. Aphrodite for love, Hera for wisdom, and Athena for wisdom, and Hera for power, right? To do this. So we have a wisdom archetype here. This is somebody that if they're really, moving towards the light, doing the work, however, whatever that means, that they do maybe kind of want to rush in with this decision that they have, but it just feels very passionate intuitively, like spirit-driven, maybe not major arcana driven in the element of fire, but they're in that place. Now, the High Priestess, what you have, you might be like, I don't know that I'm ready yet. I'm building my own empire. Virgo, but still both sides feels like Virgo. So you do you. What are y'all thinking about it? Well, I would say that the lover archetype with the Five of Pentacles, I know, being left out in the cold, but in this deck, the Earthquake, a fast change, not a transformation, a change. An earthquake, people's lives are transformed, but the earth itself just changes. It doesn't transform into something other than earth, right? Very quickly they happen. In other words, they're not a very long duration. A 15-second earthquake is a really big deal depending on Richter scale, right? So the mind is being occupied here about physical change, here for the lover on this side. Perhaps changes that have already happened. Maybe there has been a closing of a door, leaving someone out in the cold. That could be either side doing that, although with the High Priestess here, maybe it is the lover archetype here that has changed their focus from love from the outer to love on the inner. However, the mentor here is thinking the Ace of Cups. Aphrodite, sweet and flighty, running around in a see-through nightie, and a big chalice in her hand. A big Ace of Cups there. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that this wisdom family archetype of the mentor has got love on their mind here, but the lover has on their mind, they're a little shook by something mentally, I would say, but something about physical form. Maybe there was a breakup here. Maybe there was a breakup unrelated to this mentor, and there's still some healing going on there, wanting to build something strong and stable, but coming into interior alignment. And really, what is a priest or a priestess but a channel through which the divine works, right? To surrender oneself to allow the divine to work through them, certainly in a relationship, is certainly tricky, simple, not easy. Element of water here. Yeah, something went down here. 3 of Blades. There's a lot of introspection, a lot of inner work, getting to the heart of the matter here in the emotions for the lovers here. Now, 3 of Blades, 3 of Swords, if you want to go there, heartbreak. Heart is never really broken, though, in Rider-Waite. It is a mental card, getting to the heart of the matter. A maiden, a mother, and crone putting their minds together in the desert with a sphinx and a pyramid in the background, right? The sphinx, always about secrets and mysteries. I think we're really looking here at this lover doing some self-love here. Really, really, really getting clear. I mean, only 2 major arcana cards on this side. It's not, you know, fireworks. Only 1 on this side. So there's work going on here on the lover side. And there is indecision going on in the emotions here of the mentor. Ace of Cups, they love the lover. They love the lover. They see it. They see the potential, right, in their mind. But in their hearts, there is indecision. And I don't feel like that's indecision about what they want. They want it, but maybe how to go about it, like at a crossroads. But it's a much larger decision. It's really not just a choice, like, do I text or do I call? This is probably more about intent. This is really probably more about approach. Because if you approach a high priestess when she's not open for business, you could talk all you want. She'll hear you, but she probably won't reply. Yeah? Taking it in, particularly if there's an emotional introspection of a kind going on here, getting to the heart of the matter, and maybe healing heartbreak, either from this mentor in the past or past relationships here. Perhaps if you've just met, there is a mental trigger going on here, right? In the 5 of Pentacles here, element of air position for the lover. So I think you're well suited to each other. I just think this is going to take a little bit more time, and considering the world is still slowly coming out of pause mode. Yeah, I would say this confirms it. 2 major arcana cards, the point of view of the soul. The lover's got the Phoenix, the death card. The voice of the soul, if you are the lover archetype, is saying, darling, you're going through transformation. Hopefully you're rising from ashes rather than going to them. This is the Phoenix card. So that your whole life is probably transforming in ways other than just in this contract or in your romantic relationships, but to really put your focus on love, agape, divine love, true love that conquers all, not just the romantic, the self-love. To give yourself the love that only you can give you is certainly a high priestess thing, and you have that skill there. You absolutely do. Oh, and this is the maiden in this deck, maiden, mother, and crone. The maiden is the priestess, the mother is the empress. We'll get there in a second. In this deck, Mawu, the empress, and the crone is the hermit. The Kaliach. The Kaliach. The voice of the soul over here has the Empress. Now that is the ultimate divine feminine card. Keep in mind, we've got the goddess archetype in the center lane here, the state of the contract itself. So it's almost like the soul is saying to this mentor archetype, you are wise, you know what to do, but you're just not sure how to do it. This is an Empress energy that you are dealing with here. This is a wife. This is a mother, regardless of gender. It's archetypal. This is all the queens, right? And it's interesting. Then this says, right, going back to the lover, that then the lover wants this emperor mentor. Emperor mentor, that's hard to say. And the soul is saying, you know you want this empress. We've got the divine couple here. This is great. Now, one in the element of fire, but one in the element of spirit. I have to wonder if this mentor archetype with that Sagittarius is pursuing perhaps a more expanded form of, if not spirituality, psychotherapy, psychology, going maybe more Jungian than Freudian, right? Something in that wisdom archetype that they have learned and are passing on. I think they kind of know how they feel about this with the Eight of Cups, the Ace of Cups in the air and the Lovers in their earth. The decision is theirs, but in their emotions, it's that Two of Wands. I think because they don't want to fuck it up, probably, right? Particularly if they sense that you are going through, in any way, shape, or form, a phoenix transformation spiritually in your life. You're shook mentally. You're Three of Blades, Three of Swords, focusing on your emotions right now. Why wouldn't you, as the High Priestess in Earth? But that your desire, perhaps to maybe develop your own masculine energy, like I said, build your own empire here, but also that could be a desire for this one. Again, general read. You want to book me for private reading? I'll read this for filth. I like this reading from a Virgs. I don't think it's me though, although I can relate to the lover archetype, but I'm always, you do what I do for a living, honey. You die on the weekends, reborn during the week, right? Hopefully, right? It's like, let me go through what I need to go through on my days off, like I get one, so that I can be ready to serve again. Hey. Let's have some fun here. We got our tarot on the table. We're going into our first of four oracles. The Whispers of Love Oracle, as I love to call it, the party turner, because all of a sudden these cards hit the table and the party hath been turned. Voices of the higher selves, please take a nice deep breath. Such a different vibe. It's like going up an elevator to the penthouse, not maybe even to the satellite. Here we go. The higher selves of all involved, fifth dimension and above, eighth chakra and above. What are the whispers of love in this Virgo collective? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract read involving this lover and this mentor in the goddess clause of their contract. First, face down, give us the lover there. Really, my eyes going right to that phoenix. They are going through it. I just hope they're aware of it. Over here, we've got the mentor with that empress in the soul, because the soul and the higher self are not exactly the same thing, but it's ultimately all one. And for both of their higher selves here, what is a piece of information, inspiration, insight they need for this timeless soulmate reading? All right. Okay. Yay. Miracles and blessings. Everything has its gift. Everything has its gift. Miracles and blessings. And, a high priestess can be a channel for a miracle, but it depends on what your definition of miracles is. There are different definitions. The standard definition is something occurs which defies natural law. Parting of the Red Sea, walking on water, healing cancer, snap of a finger, you name it, right? But there is also that Course in Miracles version of a miracle, which is different, and it is about the healing of the mind and the heart here. So there's a huge opportunity here for miracles on the side of the lover, but you have to choose love. That's what I'm going to say. Check out A Course in Miracles, even some of the simpler materials. I mean, Lord knows, Marianne Williamson's Return to Love was seminal for me, but it led me to actually do the course. The disappearance of the universe. There's so many good books written about the Course in Miracles. But I'm back into it again, and it's making a big thing here. It's a huge blessing. Your higher self is saying, this is a blessing, the work that you're doing right now, because you're helping each other heal. It's not just a blessing on the lover. Treasure your loved ones. It is important to love others deeply. And I don't think that's a question here. Granted, Ace of Cups, this might be a come around, like a new beginning in this relationship, or they might have just met. Hopefully, it's not a professional mentor dealing with a mentee, which they use the word student there, but I think mentee is the correct word there. And I'm not getting that that's the vibe here. Wants to rush in, well, major life-changing decision there with the lovers, that could be. If this is a teacher-student relationship, a mentor-student relationship, then this can be extremely tricky, but the gods will have their way, I find. Treasure your loved ones. Important to love others deeply, and I would say if you're the mentor, take the wisdom from that. And then this is also saying you have your own feminine energy, right? Your own unconditional love. Send them unconditional love without any expectation of return. And, people are like, well, even if you're dating, it's like if you're doing it vibrationally, if you're doing it through prayer, meditation, spirituality, as the Sagittarius card can often indicate here, then you can treasure them from afar. And true love, unconditional love in physical form, is one of setting someone free, not putting constraints around it. That love is yours to give, and honestly, the love that we really feel is the love we give. Prove me wrong. Right? What is it, 100 people in a room, 99 can love you, one of you can hate you, which of the what, right? Do you feel the love? The love you give is the love you really feel, and of course, what you release returns to you multiplied, blah, blah, blah. That there is a healing going on here that I love, that here's the T, the center lane with that goddess archetype, right? Have patience. Love is patient and kind always. There's your guidance. Just be kind. Just be patient. Yes, you may very well one night send them all this unconditional love and bless them and wake up in the morning just like, rah, 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 I miss it, rah, 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 and that's okay. That's a detox process. That's how you heal. But the decision is yours if you're the mentor, but it does feel like if you're the lover here, soft of eye and light of touch, speak ye little, listen much, right? Particularly within. Digging it. Let's grab the Kuan Yin Oracle. This is where we will go more into the Divine Feminine, and since we have that goddess archetype, this certainly makes sense. The Kuan Yin Oracle is lovely, but she doesn't just represent the Divine Feminine predominant in the contract, represents the state of the feminine energy in the contract, and I love these decks, but then again, I don't work with divination systems I don't love. Please take a nice deep breath. That pink light, that pink smoke. My beloved, beloved, beloved Kuan Yin, Bodhisattva, goddess, embodiment of divine love, compassion, and contentment, divine mother for many, please, one card in clarity, please leave the card in my hand, beloved one. The blessing, the oracle, the guidance, the grace for this Virgo collective, sun, moon, rising, Venus sign, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying, soulmate, contract, and fulfillment of the divine plan in some way, shape, or form. What's the guidance you have for them in the feminine energy aspect of this contract? Maiden, Magu, Maiden, Virgin, Virgo, bingo. Bingo, bingo, bingo was her name-o, card number 16. This is about spring, right? There's a rabbit in there. It's definitely a Persephone vibe going on in this deck. And why wouldn't there be? Right, did I skip it? Oh, 13 teeny tiny little numbers. Maiden, Mago. Okay, the description's long and it's in nano font italic, but the prayer is not. I'm going to give you both. Please take a nice deep breath. There's a lot in between the intro and the prayer that I'm not going to read. Highly recommend this deck. The Maiden Magu, M-A-G-U, Goddess of Spring, Healing and Transformation, with the Phoenix card on this side, brings you assistance now. You are asked to honor that light can come from even the darkest beginnings, beloved one. In fact, sometimes we need to enter into the unknown parts of ourselves to find exactly what we need to grow in peace, creative self-fulfillment, and happiness. And I get that, right? You could even say with that death card, there's a touch of the underworld vibe there. Persephone is a threefold goddess. People don't think of her that way. She is the spring maiden, Kore, the summer lady, where she's at her most lethal, and then queen of the underworld for half the year, right? So that going into the depths, that priestess energy. Persephone in the mythic tarot is the high priestess card. So very virgin, right? Pure, but that doesn't mean you're not getting your stuff touched. We are Virgos. Some say Virgos are the sluts of the zodiac, but our virginity grows back by daylight. I'm down with that. Just as the spring always follows winter, beloved, so too will any inner work with the shadow precede a beautiful rebirth for you. So definitely more dominant on this side. And I think that's even to say for the mentor. It's like, it's interesting. Then we've got Demeter there, the Empress, and a strong Persephone vibe here. But this shadow work may be going on both sides. But I would think out of impatience for this one, right? To be patient and kind. Again, only you can know this. Again, you could be playing both sides here. Let me give you the blessing. I love the prayers that come with this. And I'm going to do this with a different tool, Torch of Ariel. Breathe. Kuan Yin, say it through me. Spring healing prayer of Kuan Yin and Maiden Magu. Beloved Kuan Yin and Spring Goddess Maiden Magu, thank you for your unconditionally loving help now. I ask to be helped in knowing myself more fully and allowing that part of me which is seeking expression now to emerge in a conscious, loving, and empowering way. May I know and live all of myself beyond one's... Wait, hold on one second. May I know and live all of myself, beloved ones. May my life be filled with light, energy, and warmth. Like springtime after the winter, for the highest good of all. Om Mani Padme Hum. Like, this is very much feeling like the lover side of things. But then again, when does the spring come? When Persephone turns topside and then Demeter allows her power to flow through the land again, right? Now, I will say, in terms of a mentor relationship, mother to daughter, right? There is that vibe there on the table with Persephone and Demeter, but keep in mind, Demeter had to go in the underworld to get away from her. So, you know, to marry actually her uncle, I know, the Olympians, tricky family. Must have been a very interesting holiday season. Come to the mountain. No, I'm going to be staying in the underworld this Yule. Let's move on to the masculine energy part of this, the Blue Angel Oracle. The Archangel Michael Blue Angel Oracle by Blue Angel Publishing, the divine masculine aspect, and maybe it will follow suit here, that this could be the divine masculine dominant. Again, I try not to go there. Don't limit yourself. Take the resonance where you find it. Breathe. Blue flame. As I call upon my beloved Archangel Michael, please, really, Archangel of Truth, the Sword of Truth, the Shield of Honor, please, the Shield of Humility, what have you, for this Virgo Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Happy, healthy wealthy, thank you. He said, your pendant's on crooked, thank you. Happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying, soulmate, contract read and fulfillment of the divine plan concerning a lover and a mentor in a goddess archetype phase here, having patience and springtime, right? That maiden magu, that rising from the ashes, that spring after winter, that integrating the whole self and bringing that forth in this timeless read. I like that. The poetics of light. And I will say it again, every time it comes up in this deck, they do their cards in landscape every now and again. And I just think it's such a refreshing change. I've just never seen it before in an oracular system. They're almost always portrait. So I just, as an artist, I love that. Card number 25, the keyword, creation. These are relatively brief. Where are you? The poetics of light. Card number 25, again, in nano micro font, not to be confused with the Hierophant. The poetics of light, creation. Something of great value is forming in your subconscious, and then this would be shared, both of you. And the High Priestess being a symbol of the subconscious, by the way. Feel a stream of light flow through your heart and mind. This is your true essence. Don't try to control or understand it. Just allow it to be. You will be amazed by your creation, born of a thought and nurtured by your loving heart. Lover's card, heart, throat. This creation stems from the light of the soul and will come to life through love. Be patient. Literally on the table already, double whammy. Creativity thrives where there is childlike innocence and spontaneity. Maiden magu. All unfolds at the most perfect time. Through love all is born, and to love all returns. Creation is one great love. Creativity is part of your nature. And I'm going to say both sides, but if we're talking about creating through the power of unconditional love, vibration, call it what you want, that's on the mentor here too. It's like they're learning that too. But their minds have really just turned perhaps to this emotional intelligence of let me practice loving unconditionally here. That will automatically bring patience, but it's not a once and done. It's like brushing your teeth, right? You gotta, that's why it's called a spiritual practice, not a spiritual perfect work. All right, the poetics of light. You know, I love that, just the idea of the poetics of light, the creativity, right? You take words, you jumble them together. Maybe you get poetry, maybe you don't. And not all poetry rhymes. I'm a big fan of iambic pentameter, you know, meter and verse and all that stuff. Course in Miracles is predominantly written in iambic pentameter. I am the Holy Son of God herself. I changed the gender on it instead of himself. I prefer to work goddess energy, honestly. So let's do just that. Our last oracle before the very last card down. You're going to get your healing mantra for this. We're going to use the Lover's Oracle, Tony Carmine Salerno. I always put the pictures face up because you can see the words on the back this way otherwise, but they're all different, right? So this is the Pantheon of Lovers. Imagine every lover in every pantheon that you can think of in one. That'd be some cocktail party. That would be some meeting room. Please take a nice deep breath. Yeah, right, like Aphrodite and Frey and Eros and the Swan and, you know, this is a lot. Please, Kuan Yin, certainly. Please, my beloved pantheons of lovers, one card in clarity. What is the oracular message you give for this Virgo collective sun, moon, rising, Venus sign? Happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, in progress, in potential soulmate contract involving this lover and this mentor in a goddess state of contract romance. Cupid's arrow strikes. I mean, we knew that, but that's the thing. Cupid's arrow, you usually get one per relationship, right? That this might be something brand new. This could be a relationship with somebody that you've had. Maybe it was in the friend zone for a long time, a mentor of some kind. Remember, does not have to be professional mentorship. That gets tricky, illegal maybe in some places, or at least violating the human resources code book that you signed when you got the job. But certainly Cupid's arrow strikes is certainly a positive oracle, and I actually said Eros. Where is he? He's right back there is my Eros, right? Which is Cupid, his Roman name. Cupid, Eros, the Greek, the son of Aphrodite, who's also on the table here. By the way, also the son of Aries, which is sort of indicated here. So there's a lot of holographic crossover going on here. A lot of resonant messages here. But my eye's going to that Maiden Magu right now, and the vibe on it is like, be very gentle with each other. Not that you're made from spun glass, but that particularly this lover archetype is coming into a rebirth, right? And that rebirth may be in a way done here. There may be a tendency for the mentor to mother the lover archetype here, but that goddess energy, the goddess archetype, brings maiden, mother, and crone all together. It's a divine, feminine, dominant relationship. So two women, two men, a man, woman, whatever. There is a lot of love going on here, but there are challenges in here as well. And I'm not going to say it's only on the lover side. I'm going to say that there's a challenge here too of indecision, because they want to treasure the lover, but the lover might be like, I'm taking care of me right now, which is very Virgo. I saw this meme last night. I saved it on my phone. It's a swirl of ice cream, like two different. One is like, how can I serve you? What the fuck is wrong with you? Totally Virgo. I want to serve you. What's wrong with you? Let's go. We are going to get your last card down, and then I'll give a blessing. The same blessing I've been told to give all 12 signs with some, I can flourish it up a little bit, detail it a little bit. The Healing Mantra deck by Matt Kahn. Let's get you your healing mantra. Doesn't matter which side you are here. It's going to help you heal, which is going to help them heal. Please take a nice deep breath. As I call upon the ascended masters of romantic soulmate contract law, best lawyers on the subject, right? Now that Celino and Barnes have parted ways, what do you guys got? What is the perfect mantra for the Virgo collective sun, moon, rising, Venus sign, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, satisfying soulmate contract we have here on the table, involving a lover archetype and a mentor archetype in the goddess clause of their contract, that they may help each other heal as they heal themselves with the healing mantra, growing beyond guilt. It couldn't have happened any other way. Now again, that can play itself out in at least two ways that I can think of off the top of my third eye. One is that you two have danced before and things went to shit. Growing beyond guilt, things went down. I could see that certainly on this side, and maybe there is some regret in that Two of Wands. Do I? Don't I? Should I? Shouldn't I? Right? Because sometimes you have to let them know if they should stay or if they should go. You know, it can cause a clash. So stupid. But it's my kind of stupid, and it's a very Generation X kind of stupid, and I'm okay with that. E, F, G, growing beyond guilt. This is a very powerful mantra. It couldn't have happened any other way. That's how the soul sees it. And I feel like with this Maiden Magu, right, and this Poetics of Light, there is a new beginning being created here. But the forgiveness, really, that might be the miracles and blessing here. And for the lover archetype, if you're the one watching this, that this might be a trigger of something that of other lovers that you did not process the pain. And this person has come in to help you heal this. But not just as a mentor, as a lover, probably because they've been through it before. Let's do this. Growing beyond guilt. When you grow beyond guilt, there is a heartfelt acceptance that any sequence of events unfolds in a perfect flow that is organized and expressed by the universe. In other words, there is a divine plan. We see such a teeny tiny part of it. We can't walk around with the whole divine plan revealed to us all the time. We would pee ourselves and not be able to get anything done. This takes the pressure of control off your shoulders so you can enjoy the way in which life has come to be, which is part of coming into alignment, to just kind of not just accept what is, I mean, there's a very high spiritual truth to that, but sometimes that keeps people stuck. Rather to say, okay, this is what I'm being given. Let's work this. Let's enjoy this process if we can, right? Since everything is destined to change, just how it is in this world, and can only change you for the better, right? It might not change for the better, but it's changing you for the better. Growing beyond guilt enables you to see how exquisitely the gift of life unfolds, because there's only certain lessons you can get here in physical form. Once you croak, you know, what's dark chocolate and sea salt like? Don't know, not in a body anymore. Gonna have to go back and get a bite of that. This mantra is ideal for releasing the past. I'm totally going on this side at least. Unhooking from karmic patterns. Maybe that's going on this side if shit went down before. With these two, and forgiving yourself, forgiving others, because the moment you really make the decision, Course in Miracles says all it takes is a small willingness, but then a small willingness consistently applied. As you continue to forgive yourselves, you're automatically clearing this up here, and that's why the have patience, right? But let us not forget the real potential here of this contract, this phase of it, this chapter you're in. The feminine expressed through wisdom, nature, life force, and sensuality. This is about becoming alive. This is about feeling and healing, but also with both the maiden card and the mother card on the table and the three goddesses here in the lovers. I'm just going to say that this is something worth waiting for, but do the work. With Cupid's arrow, please. It couldn't have happened any other way, right? When Harry met Sally, I know Nora Ephron, all of her movies have that pattern, right? There's got to be gigantic fuck-ups before they can come back together. But that is often the soulmate pattern, because you're not ready for each other until you are. Different than a twin flame. Go watch the videos as I suggested. But also, if this is a true love contract, the course of true love never did run smooth. So let me give you a blessing that I'm giving to all 12 signs, and let's see how they alter it for me. Please take a nice deep breath. My divine pantheon, say it through me. May all romantic soulmate contracts be brought together into form in physical manifestation, under grace and in perfect ways, that they may heal each other, distant or close, near or far, known or unknown, that they may walk their paths towards each other, coming together, raising their own vibrations individually, opening their hearts collectively, blessing everyone around them, and infusing the third and fourth dimension with the unconditional love that a happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract engenders, and that their coming together is part of the divine plan for the well-being of all. So may they both be blessed, this lover and this mentor in this goddess phase of their contract, that they may be the best that they can be, that they may be the mates of their own souls first, and gradually as they come together for their well-being and for the well-being of all. So mote it be. And so it is. This is a lovely read. I love this for us, Virg. So look, if you want to go deeper, book me. You want to read my book, Words of Grace? A lot of this might very well be in there for you, particularly on the lover's side there, but for the mentor as well, I can see that. And if you liked the video, please like it. If you want more of me, then subscribe. You feel like commenting, please do, and share with your fellow Virgo friends, your fellow mentors and lovers out there. Otherwise, wishing you all the very best and the very, very blessed of this tricky, sort of, but seems very, very worthwhile and destined to go somewhere good. Soulmate contract read, my beloved Virgos. Virgo, power, hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.